welcome to Morton Pharmacy. We are in Neenah, Wisconsin here, and this is a long-term care pharmacy that services over 4,500 patients throughout Northeast Wisconsin. So today I'm going to show you a little bit about what we do and how we get our drugs to our patients. Each morning we receive a shipment from our wholesaler, McKesson Drug, and this gets processed and put away by a pharmacy technician as soon as we receive it. So in our pharmacy, the drugs are organized by department and then in alphabetical order. So this department is cycle fill, which means that all of these drugs are drugs that the patient will receive on a monthly basis. So these are the normal ones that they're going to receive all the time. And then we have our hazardous drugs separated for drug safety. Before we can start production, our order entry technicians will help in verifying dose and insurance information, contacting facilities about refills, entering data into our system, and also sending the prescriptions to wherever they need to go within the pharmacy. The order entry technicians are also responsible for preparing backup orders and directly assisting the customers. Each facility has their own point person who they come to if they need help. After any cycle fill orders have been processed by an order entry technician, those are sent to another technician who works directly with the cycle department. These orders are processed through QS1, which is our pharmacy and prescription management system, and exported to our robot, which will then produce the medication. This is also the part of the process where the medication administration record is produced. This allows the facility to keep track of what medications they've been giving to their patients. Once all of the prescriptions for one facility have been verified and exported by our cycle office technician, they're sent to our SynMed software, which then is analyzed for one last round of verification for any double prescriptions or other errors that we might need to fix. Once the file has been analyzed, labels will be printed for each prescription in the facility. A pharmacy technician will then put the labels on a bubble card that is corresponding with the pill size. Another really important part of this is making sure the robot is full so that production can run smoothly. The replenishment process for this robot has a lot of verification steps to ensure the correct drug is going into its intended canister. The canister is scanned while sitting on top of an RFID reader, and then each bottle of the drug will be scanned before it can be put into the canister. Finally, we enter the number of pills that we put in that canister, and we put the canister back in the robot, and we're all set. And then you can see the robot put the canister from the input slot back into its correct place. Now we begin actual production. So this technician is scanning each position on the tray, followed by the barcode on the patient label, so that we can verify that each card is going in the correct spot and will be filled with the correct drug. This is just another way for us to make sure that there's no mistakes and that each patient is getting exactly what they're supposed to get. Since the robot only has space for the top 500 drugs, we sometimes have to fill certain cards by hand. In order to do this, we scan the bottle and the tray, and this is just another verification step so that we make sure that we fill the right card with the right drug. Here's a closer look at that external fill screen. This will tell us what bubbles need to have pills, which ones don't, the quantity in which it's needed, as well as the lot number and expiration date of the drug. Once the cards have been placed and the externals have been filled, we are ready to put the tray in the robot. We can tell the robot what tray is going in there by scanning both the picking unit and the tray number. So this is what it looks like when the robot is filling a tray. First, it'll grab the canister it needs from the back wall and use pipettes with a small amount of suction to pick up 8 pills at a time and drop those into the correct bubbles. And here is that entire process again, but with the bottom picking unit. After the robot is done filling the tray, it'll be brought over to our checking counter. This is where a technician will make sure there are the right amount of pills in each bubble, make sure they're not damaged or broken, and apply a sticky backing to seal the card. This robot also fills multi-dose cards. This allows for multiple drugs to go in the same bubble and adds simplicity for both patients and med passers. After the cards have been sealed, they will go through one last round of technician checking before being sent to the pharmacist. This is when a second technician will look at each card and make sure it matches up with the drug list of what the patient is supposed to be receiving. This technician is watching out for a properly sealed card, as well as any broken pills or bubbles, and will lastly attach the drug list to the group of cards for that patient. In addition to the cycle fill drug list, the pharmacist will receive a list that looks like this that goes more in detail about the over-the-counter medications and non-cycle fill medications that the patient is taking. The last step in this verification process is, of course, the pharmacist. This pharmacist will look at every pill and bubble individually and sign off that it has been cross-checked with the drug list. Any errors the pharmacist comes across will be sent back to a technician for corrections. These can be things like a broken pill, a pill in the wrong bubble, or anything in between. Lastly, I wanted to show you a finished product. You can see here the name of the patient, date of birth, the drug and instructions, as well as the hazardous label for drugs that need it. This also includes an expiration date, lot number, and information about the facility and time the medication should be taken. And this will be the exact same for a multi-dose card, except you can see here that there are multiple pills in each bubble, and these don't have to be the same drug. So this is the front. You can see all of the patient information, pharmacy information, and on the back, more information about when that drug should be taken in case the patient wants to break off a bubble. As we move throughout the pharmacy, we have another multi-dose machine, which is called TCGRX. This machine dispenses medication in long strips that the patient can take with them. Any medications that do not fit in this machine will be placed in trays that will then be inserted into the machine before a home is ready to be run. Just like our other robot, this machine requires barcode scanning verification to ensure that the correct drug is being placed into the tray. The technician will also verify the correct lot number and expiration date, and will then place drugs where the green lights indicate. After all of the trays for one facility are complete, a pharmacist will come over and double check that all of those trays are correct before production can start for that facility. Once the trays have been checked, the first one will be put in the machine, and production can then start for that facility. As you can see, this is dispensed in one long strip. The strip will be rolled onto the rolling machine and then put through the Inspect RX. X machine allows for quick and easy verification by the pharmacist. The strip will run through and be verified through 3 different types of imaging. These are infrared, ultraviolet, and digital images that are taken of each pouch and then sent to the pharmacist's computer for verification. The InspectRx machine will flag any pouches that seem out of order so that the pharmacist can either send it to corrections or verify that it indeed is correct. We can see here that there's an entire sequence of pouches that are incorrect. The pharmacist has the opportunity now to see that it is fish oil, which is usually an issue in the InspectRx machine, and waive it as okay. Here we see the final product of a TCG strip. We have the patient name, time and date of when the drug is supposed to be taken, as well as the quantity that's in the package. The backside of the strip is clear so that we can more easily see what's inside each pouch. In our final department, Daily Fill, we always have a pharmacist inputting new orders for patients' drugs that are not usually taken, such as over-the-counter drugs and antibiotics. Daily Fill is where we safely store our refrigerated and controlled substances. Here we have a technician working on repackaging an antibiotic so the patient has the correct amount in one bottle. In this department, we also carry normal household everyday items that can be conveniently delivered to the patient with their normal medications. After the prescription has been processed in Daily Fill, a pharmacist checks it just like the other medications so that it can be sent out as soon as possible. Since we are so centered on convenience and patient care, we send contingency boxes to each home that contains normal, everyday medications that might be needed on the fly. One way that medications enter and exit our building is through controlled substance boxes. The red boxes are for Schedule 2 drugs, and the white boxes are for Schedule 3, 4, and 5 drugs. These have tamper-evident seals that will allow for added security in transport from our facility to the homes in which we service. Once everything has been fully approved by a pharmacist, the medications are ready to go to their facilities. Each prescription has a barcode that must be scanned before it can go out for delivery. This is an added level of security for us so that we know what is still in the building and what has been scanned out. This process is also required for every single card that went through the robot previously. After everything's been scanned out, the drugs are loaded onto a car to go out on 3 separate delivery schedules. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.